Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. It's going to be a beautiful day around here in the 60s, and tomorrow they're predicting 70s, low 70s for the high. That's the first time we've seen that in a few months. So that will be pleasant to experience. The country is really talking a lot right now about these tariffs. It's really dominating the conversation. I'm seeing a lot of different opinions of this, as usual. I mean, there's always different opinions, but a lot of people are saying it's great. A lot of people are saying that it's a bad thing. Even Donald Trump, I believe it was yesterday, said that the country's going to have to go through hard times with it to get to the good times. And that's exactly what I've been saying. If this works, if what appears to be the plan of switching to a tariff tax-based system instead of an income tax-based system, in the end, it could turn out really, really good for the American people and for America's strength and all this. But it's definitely going to be, and that's an if, it might, maybe. But the sure thing is it's going to be tough for a while. The prices of especially like vegetables and stuff, a lot of our fruits and vegetables are imported from Mexico. Not all of them. And I know there's going to be some of you say, well, I buy from the farmer down the road and stuff, and there is nothing at all wrong with that. In fact, I encourage that a lot, to grow your own and to buy local. But the reality is a lot of the fruits and vegetables come from Mexico. There's a lot of stuff that comes from Canada. And you're going to see at least probably a 25% increase on that stuff. So what I've been saying for a while, you need to be producing your own food. You need to be producing your own food as much as possible, because it's going to get expensive for a lot of things. Or you're just going to have to, many of you just aren't going to eat that anymore. You're just going to remove that from your diet, and you may not be able to replace that specific item and grow it in your garden, like an avocado. You probably aren't going to be able, a lot of you, to grow avocados or maybe oranges or something. But you can grow other things to replace that food source. You can grow other things to replace that nutrition level. And so, man, I've been harping on people for years now, saying that, this is the year that you really need to get serious about growing food. I can't think of a better year than now. This is the time. You need to be producing, and your gardens need to be big. And for those of you that are kind of new to gardening, or your gardening experience has been a small little plot, a 10 foot by 10 foot or 10 by 20 or something like that, and I'm not putting you down, but it's where you've just kind of got your feet wet, kind of played around. If you're wanting to produce food to feed your family, fresh food and enough food that you can preserve it, you need to have a large size garden space. I mean, you're looking at 5,000 square foot, 10,000 square foot should not be, that's not extreme in this situation. So try to go as big as you can. Yes, the downside is you start to get to those levels, then it becomes a real chore. It's difficult. It's a lot of work to maintain a 5,000 square foot, 10,000 square foot garden. And I know that some of you probably don't even have that kind of space, but for the ones that do, this is where you get back to the old ways, where you get the whole family out there, and maybe you have a neighbor or family member or something that they're not able to grow, and you say, hey, you come and you help us and we'll share our garden with you. But you need to be producing a lot of food. Because this, I don't know, I'm not 100% confident that this tariff thing is gonna hold and it's gonna work. But we will see. Trump is still talking about Canada becoming in the next, the 51st state. Still very seriously talking about buying Greenland. So there's a lot of that kind of stuff going on, and we're now in a trade war. We are in a massive trade war. And then there's other things. There's been several plane crashes. Another one ran into a vehicle on the runway. All kinds of stuff has been going on, and there's been some strange suspicion. That one in Philadelphia, that one was very odd. How that thing, I mean, it was just like a nosedive, looked like a rocket hitting the ground. So there's that kind of stuff. But what I wanted to do is shift a little bit, or a lot, and talk about actual preparedness. I know it's a preparedness channel. We're going to talk about preparedness, and I'm gonna call myself out and make myself look bad, because I kind of failed a little bit. I mean, it ended up being an okay situation, but it could have been a lot better if I had been more prepared. And so I think it's okay for us. It's good for us to deflate our egos from time to time, and to realize that man, we could have done better. There's a lot of egos going around in the world today. A lot of them on YouTube, a lot of it online, a ton in the prepping world. It's the prepping world is just filled with egos. But sometimes we have to realize that just because we have a channel, or just because we're living this lifestyle, doesn't mean we're perfect and experts at it. So anyways, as many of you know, I'm a first responder, firefighter, all that kind of stuff. And the other vehicle, you've noticed, I'm in the old Dodge truck. I have a Tahoe that is set up for a quick response vehicle. It's a command vehicle because of what I do. And it has all the equipment on it. I mean, I've thought it through. It's got everything that I need on it. And anyways, Friday, the starter went out on it, and ended up ordering one online. It'll be here probably tomorrow. So it's down. So I'm back into using this. No big deal. It's ready to go, except the equipment's in one vehicle, so I got to transfer it over. So I transferred some of the stuff over, the stuff that I use the most, the things that I use all the time, and left the other stuff in there because I was tired and wasn't feeling good. And then last night, I get a call. We get toned out for a search and rescue of a lost person that's gone off in the woods. And I did not grab all the equipment out of that other vehicle that I thought that I needed. And I get out there, and a lot of my equipment that I needed that would have been very beneficial on a search and rescue was not with me. We found the person, everything was okay. It took a few hours, but we were able to locate it. So all that's fine. The point that I'm getting to is that preparedness can't be just something that you do when you think about it. It can't be just, well, I'm sitting around waiting for the world to end, and so that's why I have stuff, but on a day-to-day basis, I'm just living a normal life. Preparedness has to be something that you're ready at all times. That's the whole idea of the EDC concept, is that you have stuff on your person pretty much all the time, even if it's just the basics to get by. And as a prepper, as a prepared person, it's easy for us to let our guard down sometimes. It's easy for us to not have our equipment with us. Maybe you have a get home bag in your vehicle, and then you take it out because you needed to put some stuff in there for space. You got to haul some stuff, so you take it out, and then you forget to put it back for a few days, and then something happens and you actually need it. Or tools. This has been my problem for years, and I finally kind of getting a handle on it. You have a separate tool box or tool bag for your vehicle for emergencies. And then you get into it and you use it every once in a while, and you forget to put the tool back, and then you actually really need it and it's not there. This kind of preparedness is just your everyday stuff, everyday emergencies, everyday problems. It may not be that we just got nuked by the Chinese or the Mexicans are invading us. It's just your everyday emergencies that can and do happen, and that's the big part of prepping, is preparing for just those little ones. If you can't be prepared for the little everyday things, then how are you going to be prepared truly for the big stuff? And just from my experience and the things that I've done over the years, a lot of times we let things slip by. We get lazy, we get complacent, we forget things, we take something out of a particular equipment or whatever, and then we don't have it when it's necessary. I don't know if it's just luck or Murphy's Law or whatever, but it's usually whenever we need something, it's not there. And so I want to encourage you a lot to stay on top of that. Be aware that the things that you have in your, whether it's a bag, any type of gear, your vehicle, your home, to make sure you have it with you. And don't slack off by, well, I'm in a hurry. I'm just running to the store, right? I'm just running to the store. I'm in a hurry. I don't have to strap on. I don't have to, lock and load. I don't have to grab that medical bag. I'm in a hurry. I'll be okay, right? I won't be gone that long. And then it's those times that something bad happens and you don't have what you need. So, yeah, preparedness has to be all the time. It really does. If you're not doing it all the time, then it's almost not even, worth it to do it at all. Maybe it's not that extreme, but we really need to be, all of us. And I'm looking at myself right now. I'm telling you, we have to stay on top of these things. And if we have certain items, certain plans in place, gear, whatever it is for preparedness, that needs to be 100% all the time, and not just do it whenever it's convenient for us, whenever we feel like it, because it's always in those moments that we least expect it. It's when things are going to happen. It's when your car's going to break down. It's when someone pulls a knife on you. When there's a medical emergency and you don't have your med kit. All this kind of stuff that can happen. And so take it from someone it's happened a few times, probably many of you, it's happened, similar things. Like I said, the thing last night, everything was fine. It was actually a very smooth search and rescue operation, considering the circumstances where the person was at and everything. It was very fortunate. The stuff that I normally have, it would have made things easier, but we still were able to do it. The point is that you have to be ready at all times, because bad stuff, you don't get a warning necessarily when bad things happen. And so you need to be ready for those things. And that's a 24/7 job. All right, folks, be growing some food, lots of it, because you're going to need it before too long. Get your houses in order and prepare yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.